The future beckons in Cabanatuan. Annalyn Tandana is reviewing for her final examinations at University in Siocon, Zamboanga del Norte. She is now in the third year of her 4-year agriculture course. Annalyn is from Cabanatuan, the ancestral domain of the Subanon indigenous people in the mountains of Siocon. When her father died in 2006, she was not sure whether she would be able to achieve her dream of becoming an agriculturist. But like many other Subanons in Cabanatuan, a bright future awaits her. Like her father was, Annalyn's mother and 3 of her 4 siblings are employees of TVI Resource Development Philippines Incorporated, which now produces copper and zinc in Cabanatuan. A bright student, Annalyn was identified by TVI to be deserving of a scholarship. Education, livelihood, and employment are just some of the benefits the Subanons of Cabanatuan have been enjoying since TVI began mining in gold and silver here in 2004. Residents of Cabanatuan and surrounding villages have also benefited from TVI's health and sanitation as well as infrastructure projects. As in most developing countries, companies who operate in remote, poverty-stricken rural areas in the Philippines often become the surrogate of government, providing basic services that are otherwise lacking, not because the government does not want to provide these services, but because it is simply short on resources. The men and women of TVI know their responsibility not only for communities where they operate, but also for the environment and for all those who have a stake in the company. TVI is fully aware that mining is but a temporary use of the land. As such, the company believes that mining should not detract from the potential of the natural environment to provide benefits to future generations. This, for TVI, is the essence of sustainable development, the cornerstone for a sustainable future. Cabanatuan residents remind us that this was not always the case in their homeland.
Dahil ang karon og sa una kaysa una, musulod sila, musulod og tunnel din. Lower lang gamit din ang mga bata gipatrabaho. Isang gagmay pa. Then, ubo ang sweldo, wala pa yung mga benepisyo. Wala, sa una, wala pa dito tarong nga room, wala tarong nga maestra, may mga libro. Ipares karon nga na ang TV, naghatag sila mga sakto nga maestra, then napoy mga libro, then sakto nga room o na service school bus. Nagputol sila og kahoy gigamit sa tunnel o ang uban ibang baligya. Then ang ilang mga gamit nga cyanide nabuhat sila lampakan nga gamay. Pag muulan, mawas to din mato sa pa. Pato na Siocon.
Wala diya nga maadto sa suba mo na nga kalat ang mga hugaw sa small scale. Mo na nga ang mga bata usahay tungod nga dali man gud ang kwarta gud makadukdok makakwarta sila mo na usahay abandon ilang kaugmaon sa pag-eskwela nga gusting kamot jud ko nga kasulod maka-operate jud ang TBI mo na sa akong paning kamot wa pag ko nagmahay kay diha nako nakita nga ang bib scale usa gyud makahatag og kaugmaon.
When TVI entered Cabanatuan, the company embarked on a massive year-long environmental rehabilitation immediately after the government and the Subanons dismantled the small-scale mining plants in 2003. For the trust given to it by the Subanons, TVI has taken upon itself to be a fervent proponent of community development and a responsible steward of the environment. The environmental management and protection systems for the Cabanatuan project include the implementation of widespread structural erosion control measures, construction of tailings management facilities, water quality monitoring and management, and reforestation.
During the gold-silver phase of TVI's operations in Cabanatuan, 3 tailing storage were constructed. The largest was the Gossan Tailings Impoundment, which included the construction of a 50-meter high dam. Now that we're in the copper-zinc phase of our Cabanatuan operations, we've constructed a similar tailings storage facility to safely contain the tailings generated during the current phase of operations. A new dam, seen behind me, has been constructed and is very similar in design to the Gossan Dam. The operational aspects are, however, a little bit different. For the Gossan Dam, the tailings were pumped into the impoundment as a slurry, where they remain. Water, which is part of the slurry, eventually evaporates, and the tailing surface dries up over time. Once this occurs, the exposed tailings will be covered with soil and rehabilitated as grasslands, forest areas, or possibly turned into a cash crop plantation-style agricultural area. For the sulfide dam, copper and zinc tailings will need to remain underwater to avoid potential generation of acid mine drainage. Because of this, we maintain a constant water cover over the tailings and operate the facility as a continuous water impoundment with a high-level spillway. To design this specialized dam, TVI contracted Smith Williams Consultants and Knight Peasold Engineers. Both firms are based in Denver, Colorado, in the U.S., and are internationally known for their dam designs and work within the mining sector. Other than tailing storage, the dam also acts as a sediment trap and a storage facility for nearly 90% of the area disturbed by mining operations. This provides a significant benefit in avoiding siltation in the rivers downstream.
Restoration and protection measures are implemented for both the disturbed and non-disturbed areas within the mining operations areas to prevent soil erosion. Tree, shrub, and grass planting activities assist the natural reforestation process. Approximately 200,000 trees have been planted within and around the MPSA area since 2003. Multiple species are used to enhance the biodiversity and improve the restored wildlife habitat.
Approximately 50 hectares within the MPSA area have been replanted and are undergoing active reforestation. The supply of seedlings, rootstock, and grasses for this reforestation are provided by the TVI nursery, located on-site, and also by private nurseries within the local communities.
Regular water quality monitoring of the tailings impoundments, streams, and rivers continues on an ongoing basis.
Several long-term monitoring stations are sampled on a quarterly basis by a multi-partite monitoring team. Results of the sampling and laboratory testing programs indicate that the water quality continues to meet all the regulatory standards and permit conditions. Also, more frequent in-house monitoring is done by TVI to further support the environmental management programs.